Yeah, I know, man. If you guys are going out to dinner later, feel free to check back in.
It's the SFL Nights it's the SFL Nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. It's the SFL Nights it's the SFL Nights with A.J.Striker, with A.J.Striker. All about the action. SFL news, come and join with interaction. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, you will leave with satisfaction. Yeah, all your team is captain. Come and tune in to episodes weekly. Tune in from your room in afternoons and when the mood hits.
What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank y'all so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decide to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. I really appreciate it, y'all. We are coming live from the convention 2021, and it has been a fantastic experience for all parties that came down, for everybody that watched online. Thank you so much for supporting us and all that we do. This is my first time actually being live, so we'll see how this goes. All right.
I'm going to be here.
My first guest is the commissioner himself, Cameron Irvine, the man that put all of this together. Mr. Irvine, how are you doing?
What's up, Ashley?
Man, chilling. So
Yeah,
glad
I'll
that
be
you
around if you
put this together for us.
Yeah, go Packers. So, what you want to talk about?
Wait, what? So you starting already?
I gotta give the people what they want. Not the Chicago Bears. They don't want the
Don't
Chicago
start this already, man. I'm too close to you.
Bears. What you gonna do? Miss the
You'll find out.
playoffs?
You will
Y'all
find
are
I got a water bottle. All this stuff be gone. You understand? But man, so tell us, how are you enjoying everything? How have you enjoyed everything that you put together?
It's been great. Exhausting, actually. It's you know, it's tough to put on an event like this, but I was really tired this morning, and then you know, some people came in to help. Corey Menner, Michael, Tyler Faulk, Chris Curtis, and one by one, I started to get a little bit more energy, a little bit more juice, because that's what the community does for me. It gives me juice, and it's a really nice thing to get to do.
Absolutely. I have one burning question that a lot of people want to know. Will you ever update your Xbox?
Yes!
I don't think it would make a difference, because no matter what, everyone's going to lose at some point.
No, I think it will make a difference, because the update is not there for nothing.
Yeah, but so you're never going to lose after that?
I'm not saying that, but I mean,
you're going to lose.
If you want an old ass console and if you didn't update it, what do you think is?
Yeah, but so you're going to lose as much, not as much, or the same after the update.
Probably not as much.
Not as much.
It may be a little bit more fair. Maybe Ref 62 would actually call the right, calls.
Seriously.
Maybe.
Seriously.
Maybe.
This is what I have to deal with. This is what an update for a console that could not give two craps about our game is going to make Ref 62 make better calls.
Or, maybe some of these. There you go. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, how about we just get health care for R62? Not forget the firmware update.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm not paying for his
So for those that don't know, what was your main motivation for starting the league in the first place?
Main motivation was I just didn't feel like when you played online sports video games that it was about the sport. It was just about winning. And people would cheat the game and, use cheat codes and money plays and nano blitzes and do a whole bunch of stuff just because they wanted to win a game. They would go for it on 4th and 20 from their own 5. They would, they would do all sorts of crazy stuff. And then as an adult, you log on and there's some 12-year-old dweeb out there talking about your mom and how much better he is at this game than you, and it's like, come on, man, this is a waste of my time. There's got to be something better than this. And I thought that the only way to prevent that from happening was to take the controller away, because that was what was giving the person the power to do all those things and make all those changes and do all that. And then from there, it was kind of like, well, if you don't have a controller, you don't have to worry about people not showing up for their games, people rage quitting, and you can actually form a league that can stick to a schedule mostly. Can get all its games played no matter what, right? If somebody drops off the face of the earth, if the whole team walks out of the locker room, whatever, hey, you're hitting the field next week, whether you turn in a playbook or not. So it helps the league, it would help its stability, and it would help its longevity by being able to say, hey, a lot of stuff can fall apart around the league, but if the main office of the league, if the main headquarters of the league doesn't fall apart, then it's going to keep going.
Okay, so what do you think separates you from other esports communities that people could join for free? Like, why would I want to join the SFL and have to pay for a subscription when I can just go join, for instance, RFL for free?
Right.
Well, actually not for free. They're like $5, but still.
Well, the first
What
thing
separates
is,
you?
look at all these beautiful people. We have such attractive people in this league. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is really what, there's a few things. What we're able to provide, number one. We put an entertainment product around every single one of our games, every single one of our broadcasts, and we try to play it up so that you feel like the game is maybe more important than it is. It's just a random simulation on an Xbox, but if you can feel how important that game is, and it just, the moment is big, then it's going to mean more. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that when you have a community that's full, and you have a community where so many people want to get in, so many people want to enjoy it, that's special too, because everywhere you turn, there's going to be a new person to meet, there's going to be a new face to get to know, and there's tons of teams and there's tons of different types of opportunities for your career, and so that's a cool thing. And then our professionalism, our technology, our equipment, our progression, the technology that we built around this league is something that is unmatched. So those are some of the good, there are other good qualities in other leagues, and there's other things that they do or they don't do. Our community content is another. So many podcasts and so many articles, so much passion for the SFL that, again, that all goes back to the moment feeling big. Your career feeling big, us tracking milestones, and we try to make you feel important on your team, in the league, all that stuff. And other leagues do things better, I'm sure, than we do, but that's why our league is valuable.
Gotcha. 2 more questions for you. So what was your favorite moment of the convention this year?
Favorite moment? I really liked the Rain Rie Eddie Gage Thursday night controversy of Mike St. Green's, when Eddie did not realize he was saying Rain Rie's name wrong. It was like pure, and it wasn't like, poor Eddie, right? I mess with Eddie all the time, but it was actually more Rie's reaction and how just dumbfounded he was, like, dude, come on, man. Like, you've been saying it wrong and it just, I don't know, it was super genuine and it was cool. You had never met Rain before, right, Eddie? So, I mean, he was a really cool dude, and he's one of the people that I will remember from this convention because I had never met him before.
Right.
And I had no expectation. I had no idea what he was like or who he was like, and he was cool. I really liked hanging out with him, talking with him, and he's definitely one of the memories for sure. So that was just a really fun moment and have me go. Charles too. Is Charles? Yeah, there he is in the glasses there. He looked. Charles losing control a bit on Thursday night too was very fun. He doesn't think he lost control, but he lost control. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. What is your ultimate goal for the SFL?
I think the ultimate goal is to make people in this league somebody because of what they did here. I want, people to be able to recognize strangers for their accomplishments and achievements with reverence, right, with honor, to say, look, Ashley Jackson, did you get over 20,000 yesterday? Did that end up happening?
It is close. I mean, I had over 300. I think I was maybe a couple hundred off, so yeah.
I think you may have gotten there. So, just for people to be able to say, like the Hall of Fame and stuff, for us to be able to kind of bring people's stories to life, and do so in a way that people remember you. A good example of this is Thomasina Rahman. I don't think any of us had ever met Thomasina Rahman. Well, Tom Rahman had, yeah. But Thomasina Rahman gets here, and she is a superstar.
Right.
Everybody's like, you're Thomasina Rahman, right? And we all know that her name is not Thomasina Rahman, but, that's what her name is to us.
Right.
So we don't, that's just who she is. And names don't matter. She, the person, is a living legend. Everyone goes, man, it's so nice to meet you, and that's what we want to do for people, right? That's the whole point of it. And so when people see Ashley Jackson, they come up and they talk to you about all of your achievements and talk to you about, oh, it's so great to finally meet you and all that stuff. That stuff is pure joy and genuine, and what the league is all about. That putting average, everyday people on a stage to feel special and loved and wanted. And that's the whole point of it all.
That was beautiful.
Yes, it was beautiful. Well, thank you, Kim. I know that you got some things going on. You got some more things you got to get set up for today. So.
Yeah, we've got we want to tell everyone who won the silent auction. It ends in 22 minutes. So.
There you go.
Yep. So whoever your next guest is, I hope they're not a Bears fan. Because I think if I was listening to two Bears fans talk on the mic at the same time, I'd have to walk out.
Chris, I need you to come cut his mic, please. He's done. Freaking Packers.
You done with me?
Yeah, I'm done.
You done with me?
I'm done.
All right.
Mr.
Thank you,
Packers.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for being on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, up next, I have Mr. Tyler Faulk.
Went back to the draft.
Hi, Ashley. It's going good.
Good to see you, Tyler.
Good to see you too. Well, good for you. Good luck for you, Cam. But you don't have two Bears fans talking to the mic. You have a Bears fan and a Vikings fan. So maybe that's even worse.
Oh,
Go! Let's go. Thank you. Thank you, Cam. Thank you.
Well, Tyler, welcome back to the show. It has been a while since you've been on. I heard you on Say It With Your Chest yesterday, and of course Eddie kind of stole some of my questions, but it's okay. It's all right.
Well, he is your boss. So.
He is, technically. But I kind of wanted to piggyback off something that he was asking you in regards to the way everything went down. And I know that you said you do have, you wish that you could have done some things a little bit differently. Would you like to share with us what that would have been?
I mean, I think my entire delivery of that, the whole conference, the whole interview, I think was all right. But I think as far as my delivery goes, like, I felt maybe I was a bit too harsh, even though it was the truth, in how I came across and how I said things and some of the things I said. But I stand by the purpose of that and what was said. And so being a bit too brash in some of my statements, I think, put me off a little bit. And I think that's ultimately for the next week after that, I was physically ill with myself because of how that I felt that came across. And even though, like I said, everything I spoke was 100% factual, it just didn't seem right in my conscience. It seemed right in my heart for how I said it.
Understood. Now, did you have a whole lot of backlash after that, like falling out with anybody?
Well, of course, some people from San Diego. That's to be stated, but for the most part, the rest of the league had a lot of DMs, a lot of people that came up and talked to me and said, "Hey, respect what you did." Some people, gave me a little bit more constructive criticism. Eddie, of course, one of those being say, "Hey, here's what's going on. Here's what you could have done differently." But I think overall from the league, it was extremely positive, and I think there's one or two people in San Diego that unfortunately, I probably just is what it is.
Yeah.
And they can be they can be them, and that's totally okay. I've told those people individually that I can separate the player from the person, but for those individuals, they can't seem to do that. So it's on them, because I have no ill feelings against anyone in San Diego. I have no ill will toward Optimus, toward Javier, to no one on San Diego's staff or roster. So I mean, I'm open and willing to chat. I'm just a regular old guy. So again, that's just me.
All right, so how are you enjoying over there in Louisiana?
I absolutely love Louisiana. It was so good to see Ross, Gerald, Doug, Coach, Mike, everybody in attendance. That was awesome. Oh man, it felt like the locker room had come to the convention, and that's. I've been telling people this entire weekend is you get to know everybody differently,
right,
face to face, rather than just through text. Because through text, maybe
there's
that's
no
where
emotion. There's no
exactly. And maybe the one time a week that we get to do a live cast or something like face to face, or even a podcast or a show, and you get to see those people for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours of your day of access, but you get a very limited and a very narrow mind of those people because of how their show is or what they say on their show, instead of sitting down with them, talking to them face to face, having an adult conversation, and working things out that way. There's two different ways to go about things, and this right here, I think, it only can happen once a year. But I wish we were able to have more time with everybody in person.
Absolutely. So where do you see Louisiana ranking or finishing up this year specifically?
Well, unfortunately, we took a loss to Andy Hamilton's Vancouver team. So, I mean, we're 0-3, so it's a tough start, kind of like last season, starting off really slow as well. But, I think last night against Vancouver, we really showed, some major improvements. Utah getting his first 2 touchdowns of his SFL career, so hats off to Tommy. So, again, the sky's the limit. I mean, we're okay. We have all sat down Louisiana and talked and said, you know what? We know what we're trying to build here. This is if we can make it back to 500, that's good. If we can get further than that this season, that's an overachievement, and we'll be very happy with how we perform. It's more or less we're shooting for season 18 at this point. If we can get everybody, if we can keep everybody together, we have a really good shot of making a big push in season 18.
Okay, gotcha. Last question. Overall, how would you rate your experience at the convention this season? Because it looks like you had a lot. Louisiana had a lot of turnout for their team.
Yes.
So I heard you guys beating on the tables back there, and y'all just having a good time with each other.
I may or may not have thrown my hat to ground in celebration after the first touchdown. I may or may not have lost my voice last night. So, no, I can't rate on a scale of 1 to 10 because it definitely was 11 plus. Absolutely fantastic time here in Houston. Hats off to Cam, hats off to everybody here at South Shore Harbor Resort. What a fantastic time here in Houston. I'm so glad to have met everybody in person, and I can't wait for Well, I don't know where we're going in 2022, but I'll be there.
Hopefully that's
Vegas.
Atlanta.
Vegas.
People saying Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
What happens in Vegas stays on Discord.
No. No. We are not going to Green Bay.
No, we're not going to Green Bay. Absolutely not.
Hey,
But every time a quarterback puts on a Green Bay jersey, they look 40+ games.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Come to Milwaukee. Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. You and your cheeseheads can stay over there in Wisconsin.
That's all they're good for is cheese over there in Wisconsin. Huh? He not even paying.
They do have some pretty good cheese.
They do have some pretty good cheese.
And some pretty good craft beer, I might admit.
All right, Tyler. Well, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on, Ashley.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Cam, can I bring on one more before we do this? Okay. Now, my next guest is the person. The next guest is the person that I would not be in the league without him introducing it to me in the first place. And this is Mr. Joshua Williams of the Atlanta Storm. What's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hello,
So-
hello.
All right. So first off, I wanted to say thank you, man, because if you did not come into T's Discord saying that you had a football game to go to, and I was intrigued by what you were actually doing, I probably would not be here at this moment. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You are probably one of the most active social media members and probably the best social media person that the league has. What is your inspiration and how do you find the time to put out like thousands of tweets per day?
Honestly, I don't even know. I know that I watch YouTube a lot and I just like content, and I feel like content is king. I always tell anybody who is into social media that the more content that you can put out, the better. It brings more eyes to whatever you're trying to draw attention to, and that if you're consistent about it, that, you know, just put out the content that you feel like you think people will like, and then also that you like putting out there, and then people will attract to it. And so far, it's proven to be just that.
All right, gotcha. Now, with the Atlanta Swarm, you guys are former champions, things like that. Tell me, what is it like to be on the Atlanta Swarm team? Because I know you got Chizzy in the back and you got Blue Chisholm and everybody. What is it like to be a member of the Swarm? Because I was almost a member, but you know, things didn't work out.
Honestly, soon as Chiz approached me whenever I came in to the league, I don't know, it felt like a family already. It felt like home. And as soon as I got introduced to everybody else in the locker room, I said, oh yeah, this is like a brotherhood already. Just getting used to the locker room and then the personalities in there, Mark, Boo, Siege, and Marcus at the time when he was there. It was just like an instant family, and it just felt comfortable to me. So.
Awesome. So, with your player, you've actually had pretty decent. How long have you actually been in the league?
Since season 11.
Okay, so how many sacks do you have?
I honestly, I don't even know. I
Because I know for a while you were like in contention to be like the number one defensive end.
I don't know about that, but I
You
don't really pay attention to stats like that. As long as I'm having a good time and everybody else in the locker room's having a good time, then that, hey, it is what it is. I don't really pay attention to stats. I mean, look. I do, but we're not.
That is a good question. Oh yeah, no, we can talk about it.
How many social media followers, Squall? Tell us.
I don't know, somewhere up in the 500, but we're not, you know.
Ooh, see?
Yeah.
Okay, we trying to get like you. But all right, man. And how did you enjoy the convention?
Oh, it's been fun. Especially meeting the people in person now, and their voice, you know, you hear their voices a lot,
right.
And now you're finally meeting them for the first time. It's been an amazing convention, getting to see everybody, make the actual personal, you know, person-to-person connection. I've been enjoying myself, and I hope everybody else has too.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite moments?
I would have to say the amphitheater, when everybody's in there, rooting and hollering for their teams and going crazy. Either there's a big play or there's a last second field goal or something that
Why you
happens.
gotta say last second field goal?
Not just. It's been a lot of games like that this convention. There's been a lot of close games, and it's just that atmosphere that makes it feel like you're a part of something big.
Absolutely. So for somebody that is trying to or thinking about joining the league, what is some advice that you would have for them?
Well, first of all, I guess you would have to tune into it or have somebody to reach out to you. But once you join the league, I would just say, don't be afraid to ask questions. Get used to the league and what's going on. Tap in with people because the people around the league are friendly and they're willing to share information as long as you come to them. Because if you don't come to them and like, hey, what's going on, you'll never actually get the full experience of the whole league. So I'll just say, reach out to people and talk to them first, and just get acquainted with the league as familiar as possible.
Fantastic. Well, I thank you so much for your time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you out there doing your thing, man.
Absolutely. You too.
All right. Okay. And my next guest is Mr. Chris Curtis. First time on my show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. You got a few boos out there. No. So, Chris, since this is your first time on the show, my questions are going to be a little bit different.
Okay.
First, what's your age, your hometown, interesting fact,
Okay.
and your favorite NFL team?
So 31 going out about 65. That's the nice part about this though is that I don't age.
There you go.
So it could be a lot worse. I'm in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
Been gone between Flint and down towards Detroit my entire life basically. And then interesting fact, I actually, you go a couple different ways. You can go with the obvious, yes, I'm albino, but as far as as a profession kind of thing, as a hobby kind of thing, doing the broadcasting thing for the SFL, started with Rocket League. Got into Rocket League esports 2016, and it branched off from there as I was looking for something else to outlet as well. And I got pointed in this direction by somebody that Cam is very familiar with by the name of Cloudfield. So so it's good stuff. It's evolved. I mean, I got into the SFL in 2017, I believe, season 9. And season 17, you get to meet a lot of people. Some of them for the second time, some of them for the first time. It's been a lot of fun.
So, since you have been in the league so long, what do you think about the changes that have taken place? Like, how has the league changed over that time?
I was pre-progression era. For the first couple seasons that I was here, it was pre-progression. There's a. I can't see what you're saying in the beginning.
You're blocking the thing. There's a camera right
Mike, get out of the way.
Two cameras, Mike. There's a mic.
He has no idea. There you go.
I wanted to be with them.
Mike's been, just so those that can't see him, Mike's been lurking behind us, not just for me when I was here, but also for Joshua, and I think he was back here when Tyler was going too. So Mike's being Mike, it's fine. Wouldn't expect anything less. But no, I was around for pre-progression before the infamous Bits era started. With Twitch chat and everything, and Cam looking directly at you. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. The growth of the broadcast team when Mike was introduced as the broadcast director. I recently, the last couple seasons, took over as the assistant broadcast director to do the grunt stuff that he doesn't want to do, and so that's where my footprint is. But there's been a ton of changes. 95% of them good, 5% of them didn't stay. And it's attributed to a really large growth spurt in this league, and it's created all of this.
Absolutely. So, how are you enjoying the convention?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been awesome since moment one. We got here on Thursday. We had a Thursday travel day. Me and Skippy did, and the travel day was long and exhausting. We had a delayed flight, but ever since we woke up Friday and got to hang out with people and chill with everybody, it's been a blast.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're known for being like a kind of like tech savvy and everything. And so I heard you're over here trying to help us with the mics and everything. Is that something that you really enjoy doing?
I have a background in tech, more from an internet security perspective, but I like seeing how things work and why they work. So doing the tech support thing is kind of a natural thing for me for the most part, which is why I do a lot of the assistant stuff for the broadcast directing team, because a lot of the audio issues that we see on the broadcast, I go through and try to fix and see if we can't find a solution for them. So it's nice. I like doing it. Once we find a solution, it's a little bit more satisfying to me. So that's where I'm at.
So for those who are interested in trying to join the broadcast team, what advice would you give them? Because that could be a little bit daunting for anybody. That someone may love sports but may not know all the calls, may not know all the plays. Just looking at it.
It starts with experience. Like it starts with getting the experience, and we've taken people completely off the street that just have a natural want to talk to people, that have a natural want to. Even if they don't realize it, maybe be behind a microphone. If they have a little bit of football knowledge and have a passion for getting into something like this, then absolutely try. Even if you don't think that it's going to be a good fit, the worst thing you can do is not try. Get a hold of me. We can set up a tryout. It's there's a whole application. It's simulationfl.net/broadcasting, I believe. Dags, I think, set it up with Liam, but either way, the application's not hard. As long as you have a stable internet connection and a little bit of patience to get things working, we can definitely get you in and at least try it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We've taken people. I'm trying to think offhand of people that didn't have the experience. Take Colin and Rick Northrop, who didn't have any experience doing this, and they jump in and they were. They're one of the all-star players we have on our team. So that's just one example. We've got a lot of people, 35 broadcasters on this team right now, and we have room for more.
It was funny because I actually tried my hand at broadcasting. I want to say it was season 13. I know it was the Vancouver game, but I can't remember who. I think it was Vancouver and St. Louis.
I heard something about that.
Yes. I did think about getting back into broadcasting, but my nerves were like, if I'm seeing something happening on the field and I don't know how to articulate it. Exactly. Like, for instance, Eddie, he's very good at just identifying the plays and then just, hey, that's they're in a nickel, they're in a, whatever. And I'm like, is it necessary to be able to do it?
So you pick up more things as you do it. Okay. That's the main part of it. I mean, the main goal of an analyst per se, like somebody like Eddie, is telling why something happens. Ball's intercepted over the middle of the field. Safety went in, played center field, looked at the quarterback's eye, saw where the ball's going, jumped the route, grabbed the ball. Okay, good call for an interception. What we don't need all the time, it's nice every once in a while, but we don't need all the time. Oh, they're in a nickel with this many DBs. We got so they're going to be vulnerable to a long pass down the field. That's not necessarily always a thing. The biggest thing about the analyst position or about the commentary position is to take the emotion that's happening in front of you, ball it up, and feed it to the person watching. That's the main thing, because we've all watched sports every once in a while on mute, and it doesn't feel like we're watching really anything. It's just kind of things are happening on the screen, it's a moving picture. But you add somebody to call it, you add somebody to articulate what's going on in the field, and to give them something that they're not actually able to see, and it's a completely different ball of wax. You start to get invested, and that's what we try to do.
Awesome. My last question to you is, what is your ultimate goal for being in the league? So do you Do you want to just get a few championships under your belt? Do you want to, like, where's your goal?
That I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Vancouver bring one home. I wanted to see what happened in Queen City when I was there. Didn't quite happen, and they went different ways, and that's completely fine. But I definitely wouldn't mind winning a few titles. Aside from that, from a professional standpoint, I want to see this get as big as it can get. You know, we have a whole community of people in here and around the world right now, as far away as Europe, Mexico with Ramos, and with everybody as strongly driven as this community is in a lot of different branches. I want to be along for the ride as it continues to grow. It's been a lot of fun so far, and there's a lot more to go.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for your time, Chris. It was a pleasure to get to know you. And, you know, I'm actually looking forward to having you on at another time, too, so we can ask some more questions.
Absolutely. We can definitely do that. We definitely do that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And we're welcoming back the Green Bay Packers band. That's why we say it, boo.
I got you, AJ.
I appreciate you, see.
They were talking about Chisholm. They weren't going very good. All right, last call. No throwing elbows.
No, we have. Are we talking about alcohol or?
No.
Okay, all right.
No. There won't be a last call on that for a long time. I'm about to go over and pick up the clipboards.
Alright, so for those that are watching, we're waiting for the results of the silent auction that we have going on. We had some of our wonderful members decide that they wanted to donate a few things that are signed. So we're trying to see who's gonna wind up walking home with some good stuff. From flags to Hall of Fame footballs to helmets and T-shirts, what up those shirts and everything like that. So
Speaking of Hall of Famers, I have not seen Mike Daggs today. Has anybody seen Mike Daggs or know what happened to him? And Jeffrey? And Kelly? Say again, Gerald? Sometime before 3. I don't
So
know.
that could be any time of it. It's already 1:48 now.
All right, will you stall them? Stall them so I can go get those and we can see what
Absolutely.
the results are?
Absolutely.
What are you going to stall them with?
Wait, say this. Whoa.
There you go.
I don't know about all that.
Mike All wanted to pass this message on.
Aww. Mike All was here. Love you, Ash. Chris Curtis is awesome.
Yeah, he left that at the table.
He wants this at the table?
Yeah, he left that at the table.
Mike.
Oh,
let's go.
now you
know what?
get-
Let's
now.
sit down. Let's go and sit down.
Now you got it.
Now, while you're going to go get that, I'm
All
going
right.
to get Mike on. Mike, come on.
Since you want to be on.
You just want to.
I just wanted to be in the background. I don't want to
No,
be in the
yeah.
foreground. What's
How
up,
are
man?
you? Good.
I'm all right.
First of all, I want to thank you so much for editing all of everything that I write, from all the Player of the Week articles to all the one-off articles I do. I want to thank you for being my editor, man, because that can be a little daunting.
I just make your effort look good. That's all I do.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. Hopefully you don't have to go through too much editing.
I'm not gonna say.
So how did it feel to be basically Cam's right-hand man this trip?
Oh, he's had a lot of hands this weekend, but I've been happy to help
Well,
out.
one of them.
Yeah, I've been happy to help out, do whatever's needed to help out with this to make it successful for everybody.
Awesome. So what are your thoughts on the convention as a whole?
It's been a great time. I've loved hanging out with everybody, meeting all the people that I've been talking to online or haven't talked to in some cases, and getting to know everybody. And I was happy to bring the photo booth for everybody to get pictures with everybody
Which looks
else.
very dope. Love it. Love it.
Thanks to my lovely, beautiful wife, Julie, for doing all the work over there.
Thank you, Julie.
And, yeah, it's been a great time.
So another question is, where is Bo? Where's your other half?
He is at home making sure his older dog is getting well taken care of because there was issues and his wife was a little concerned about taking care of it herself. So
Gotcha. So is there a message? Is there a message that you have for Bo?
he says he misses you
He wished he was here with everybody else, and he says, "Go Jacksonville."
Gotcha. So, Mike, why do you stay in this league? What makes it so special for you to want to stay?
All the people, everybody I've met, getting to see myself on TV, running around trying to tackle quarterbacks as you.
Oh no, I don't think you got one tackle on me.
I got sacked. I sacked you. You were my first sack ever. Yeah, you were my first. That was the call from Cam when I played bongos on your leg, and Cam made that call. Yeah.
That was luck. I slipped.
Right. But with all my friends here and just getting to participate and help Cam's dream become successful, that makes it all worth it.
Yeah, because you are involved in a whole lot in the league, and I for one just want to thank you for being so involved. And Julie, I want to thank you for allowing him to be involved in the league too.
Yes, thank you, Julie.
So thank you,
Yeah.
But that was a little bit of word from Mike All, and I'm looking forward to having you on the show again sometime.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps you and Julie can be on together.
Maybe she isn't much of an on-camera person, but I could probably trick her into it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool beans, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
And she hides her face in the meeting.
All right, and now we have the results of the silent auction.
Is that all you got?
Yes, all.
Hacker, get out.
I'll see myself down now.
You're not streaming, Cam.
Yeah, I know, because the mics aren't working on the stream, so I'm just recording for later. All right, so here are the results, and I will get all that stuff out to you afterwards, but here we go. The Houston flag goes to Talon Steel for $40. Talon Steel. Just walked out, just like my father. More than once. Don't tell me so.
I heard you walk out of the room into an Indian wedding.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
He was then escorted out of said Indian wedding.
All right, the Mexico City flag, won by Thomasina Ramen, $32.69. You didn't write that, Tom? Wow.
All right, and we have the Baltimore flag going to Marcus Dunhill for $32.
Charleston flag goes to Corey Menor, $40.
Arizona's flag goes to Eddie Gage, $40.
There you go. You can have it, Ashley.
I appreciate it because I was mad.
Vancouver's flag, that's Curtis's, $32.
So the Atlanta Swarm flag goes to Aquantis Shine for $50.
That's not his legal name, so it's voided.
I'm sorry, Chiz. Sorry, Chiz.
Chiz, that's not your legal name on the auction sheet. It's voided and goes to. I'm just kidding. The LA Lycans flag goes to Rob M's, $38.
Oh my! And the Tulsa Desperados flag goes to Thomasina Ramen, $39.69.
We are all 12. You're very
The Lone Star flag goes to Gunny, $50.
The St. Louis Gladiators flag goes to Rick Northrup for $32.
Now you wouldn't believe this, but the Sioux Falls flag had 7 different entries. You would not have thought that. So that's the most popular one on the sheet today, and that goes to Talon Steel for $55.
San Diego Mavericks flag goes to Mr. Mike All for $31.
Even more popular than the Sioux Falls flag, that's Carolina. 9 entries, and that, in an upset, goes to Siege Falco for $40.
Marisha's my boy.
He's gonna fight you.
They want to give it to Eric Benson, though. So just say Eric Benson. Oh, no. That's it. Yes, sir.
So the Queen City Corsairs flag goes to Luis Gonzalez for $55.
Sorry to bid you up, Luis.
The 3-time champ Florida Storm flag, that also had 9 entries, and that goes to Marcus Dunhill for $60.
And the Portland Fleets flag goes to Gary Burney.
Gary.
All right, $35.
I'm gonna skip that one. We're coming back to that one.
Oh.
All right. Now I was told by a little birdie in Louisiana, the Whisker Lafouche shirt is the quote best Louisiana quarterback in season 16 shirt. If anybody gets that joke, and that goes to Thomasina Ramen for $10.
I like it.
That's real funny.
The Jacksonville flag goes to Mr. Mike All for $35.
The Denver Nightwings flag goes to Adam Wiseman for $1,031.
The DC Dragons flag had 3 entries, but Mr. Mike All won it with $36.
All right, bidding on behalf of this winner, the winner of the SFL helmet signed by me from the original 2018 convention is Cam Curtis for $130.
We have the Louisiana Revolutions flag going to Mr. Gerald Smith for $40.
The Johnny Pickler signed shirt goes to Stephen Hacker for $30.
The Las Vegas Fury flag had 4 entries, but Mr. Tom Rahman won $39.
The autographed football that Devon Simeon donated that was signed by me and Mark Chisholm and Damon Eddie Gage goes to Andy Hamilton for $105.
So your father, Tiberius Bovine's autographed Scorpions jersey goes to Gerald Smith for $75.
The black version of Eddie's What Up Doe shirt goes to Stephen Hacker for $21.
Shout out to Dave Axis, who could not be here with us, and we wanted to wish you the best, man, and we know we're going through some things, man. But your autographed sleeves went to Mr. Mike All for $43.
The white version of Eddie's What Up Doe shirt sign goes to Andy Hamilton for $20. And now, the Fort Worth Toros flag. Now, here's what's interesting about this. The last bid on it is Mike All for $35.
What? I want to revise my bid. Keep the first bid that I put in.
So Robert Garrett and Stephen Hacker combined their bid for $40, but that's not how the sheet went. So I want Hacker, Vincent, Mike All to take this sheet, go out in the hallway, and you tell us who's going to win this shirt. Yeah, or win this flag. I want to see. I want to see some controversy. Just yell and scream for us. Just. just for show. Now there were a couple of other items that.
Have more tackles than you'll ever have. Is that Michael Irvine?
Now there was a couple of items that didn't get any bids, and you may just not have seen them. So I'm going to keep those open over there. If anybody wants them at the end of the day, if they don't have any bids.
What are they?
I'm getting to it.
What are they?
I'm getting to it. The two, because they're a little surprising, and they did get up there later than others. Eddie Gage has a jersey over there, the 27 Arizona Scorpions Eddie Gage jersey, and was that signed, Eddie? Right?
Eddie can sign it.
I gave it.
What size is it, Cam?
So it's not currently. So what size is it, Eddie?
Large.
A large.
No, pick
How much?
The starting bid was $80.
Ouch.
So Tom has put in a bid for $80. I'm going to put the sheet over there. And then the other item was the spotting sheets from the first SFL game on TV. Andy Hamilton and Chris Curtis called the game, and it's got all the different players on there. It's the spot board with all the rosters and everything. So that's over there too. So I'm just going to put those back because they may have been cramped on the table. But now there are there's two more items, and that's the league flags. And we did not put those on the auction table, but I can start now at 30.
30.
30?
31. 40.
We got a live auction going on right now.
That's right.
Man, I already got
50?
69.
69.
All right.
69, 69 for Adam.
77.
Oh, 77 right now.
80.
80.
80 from Robin.
80 from Rob Evans.
100
100
from
from
Corey.
Corey.
Oh. Anybody else going with 100?
110.
100 going once. 110.
Eddie.
110 from Eddie.
We should have done all
All right, anybody else? 110. 111. 111 going for Mina.
120.
All right, 120 going for Eddie.
120 and a penny.
So 120 or 1.
Hacker called 120.
No. All right, 120 or 1 going once.
Buy that flag.
125. I got 125 from Thomasina.
We got two
Wow.
125.
130.
All right, 130 from Eddie Gage. Anybody else?
Oh, man.
130 going once.
There's one left.
140.
Oh, 140 from Mina.
You get the second one. 150.
I know, right?
150 from Eddie.
He can have that one. I'll wait for the second one.
So 150 sold to Eddie Gage.
All right. Okay, so the second one, we'll start at 50.
All right, second one starts at $50. All right, Stephen Hacker, $50.
They better go for more than one.
Tyler. All right, I got Tyler for how much, Tyler?
55.
55.
65.
All right, 65 from Chris. 77 from Mike.
88 for access.
88 for Axis. Okay, Axis. Okay.
90.
All right, got 90 from Thomasina.
Do 100.
All right, 100 from Mina.
Her or her dad. That's all I know.
All right, 100 going once. 100 going twice.
110.
All right, 110, Curse.
111.
111, Robert Adams.
125.
150.
Whoa. 150,
That is not what I
last thing I heard. All right.
He said 115.
That's fine.
150 or 115?
Either whatever one's higher.
150.
150? All right.
Definitely.
All right, so Ramen family got it for 150. Anybody else? Going once.
160.
All right, 160. Oh, 160 going once. Oh, 169 from Thomasina. All right, so 169 going once. 169 going twice.
You can do it.
170.
170 from Cordelina. All right, 170 going once.
So you paid that car note yet?
170 going twice. Sold for 170.
My wife better not see the shit.
You might be put out.
Butch, if you're watching, hush. How much do you want
All
a bid to keep it quiet?
All right, Ashley. You can keep going with your show.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to just kind of set up in the hallway with all the and with all the merchandise and stuff. Ashley's going to continue her show. We've got LA and Sioux Falls coming.
Well, I was gonna put him back on the table.
Seeing something in the defense.
We can always do it later.
LA and Sioux Falls coming up at 2:30. Ashley's going to have a couple more guests on the show, and then we'll get started with that and continue the day. Thanks all. Really appreciate it.
All right. So, all right. So my next guest is Mr. Stephen Hacker. Come on the hot seat, Mr. Hacker.
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
So, you are, first of all, this is your first time on my show, isn't it?
No, I've been on your show. It was early on. I think it was like episode 30 or something. It was
Right.
very early on in your podcast.
Right, because it's now like 174.
Yeah, I think I was on when I was still with Queen City.
Oh, wow, that was a long time. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Well, watching you watch your game was very interesting. You are very into your game.
Oh, I love my team.
So why are you so emotional?
Well, I feel like, what I believe in is being genuine and being authentic, right? And so if I'm trying to be cool or act a certain way, I don't feel like that's authentic. What I am is I'm a passionate person. I put a lot of time and effort into my team and my guys, and so when it's live and happening, it means the world to me. So,
That's football camp, been that like 2 hours.